Good morning. Welcome again to Cedar Brook Academy's basic drawing class. And today, as you can imagine, we're going to continue to work on our self-portraits. But first of all, let me just point to what's due today so there won't be any confusion. I think there was a little bit. Your nature journal should be a continuous line mini self-portrait, and you had the option of adding color or not. Then there was a self-portrait that you began in class if you were working along with me in the video, but I would like to see that one. And then a different one was for homework. That's for this week. And then eyes, you were supposed to do a copy. And so you'd have a copy of an eye, remember, and one of your own eyes. And one of the questions I would have asked you, but I can't get your feedback right away, was, well, what did you learn from doing that? Did it help you do your own eye? So let's see. So if you want to freeze this and write down, make sure you hand this in. Okay. And the next thing we'll talk about is your supplies that you'll need today. Portraits, week 9, all right. You're going to need your sketchbook again. We're going to start with it open to the self-portrait that you worked on for homework. And your drawing pencils, this time make sure they're sharpened. Your erasers, a Q-tip, the texture technique sheet, remember that's this guy, just to remind you of all the different choices you have to work on your portrait. A parts worksheet. Okay, that is what I'm sending you on Monday. I should have sent it to you in your email. Check and see. That's you have to print out because you're going to use that for part of your homework. All right. If we were in class, we would have been working on this in class time today. Pencil sharpener, because as you're working, your points might get dulled, so you want to keep it nearby so you can sharpen it. And of course, again, you're going to need a mirror. Okay, so you also need this guy for your homework. I don't know if we'll work on this in class today, so you'll need that again to slide under your sketchbook page to help you get the dimensions. So you got a full page drawing, okay? All right, so what if you had come to class today, what you would have found on your desk already would have been this lovely guy, a monk, and then kind of a sketch with the shadow shapes sort of outlined. And what we would have done, transformed this. We would have been working on shading. And the reason is I didn't address that too much in the video last week. So what we want to do this week is kind of punch up take it to the next step, the next level, the next dimension in our portraits, our self-portraits. And now, if you want to look over here, I'm just going to sort of critique. These are some that other students have handed in from previous years. Lovely, full size. I would ask you, what do you see, what did she forget? What did she forget to do? And what she forgot to do is she forgot her eye shine. And this is a white gel pen, and I don't know if it's going to show up for you, but if it doesn't, guess what I can do? I can take a darker pencil and I can darken around. And maybe she also made her pupil very teeny. So let's kind of darken the eye and leave some eye shine for her. Help her out a little bit. So this is the kind of thing I want you to be looking at your book. In class, we probably would have exchanged books and talked to each other kindly, giving, nice, gentle suggestions on, oh yeah, maybe you forgot to leave the eye shine. Okay, and maybe she didn't extend her mouth. If you drop it down, that mouth line, maybe just a little bit. So, but she's got nice hair texture, and she did glasses. We didn't talk about that. She did a nice job with that. Okay, let's look over at this gal. Nice darks. What would you notice about this one? Right. I think she went crazy with the bottom eyelashes. I'm not really sure we're seeing eyelashes quite like that. So if you've done that on yours, you might want to erase that. Your eyelashes, they actually grow, excuse me, they grow in clumps. Do you remember hatching? The ones on the bottom would be like that, but the ones on the top would be growing in clumps like this. So if this was the eye and we're attaching them sort of in clumps and not just solid lines. I have another example down here. A little bit too many eyelashes, and they usually grow, over to the side. You usually see them on the sides and not all the way around the eye. But you're going to have to look carefully. Maybe yours do look like that. The other thing with this is so lovely. Look at the hair. Look at how lovely that is. But we're losing her. She's very pale, and that could be just the way I printed it. But if she was that pale, that's the way I printed. She could have gone a little darker. But we're going to talk about that today. If this is what yours looks like, I'm happy with that, because we're going to maybe go step 2 later. Again, this was one of the gals wanted to do a photograph, so she liked Matthew McConaughey, or however you say it, McConaughey. But look at the hair. Oh, great, yeah, because there's lights, darks, lights. So that shows dimension, and good eyes with glasses, and then this one over here. This was a student. Really paid attention. He had dark hair. But look at this. He's got lights where the light was coming in. He's got darks over here because apparently the light was coming from this side, because it cast a shadow on his neck. So nice proportions, nice eyes, nice ears. This one has a little more detail, and this one's more in shadow. So he was paying attention. So that's what we need to be doing. Let's see. So one thing we didn't talk about last week was hair. If you have hair that's really got a lot of wave to it, this is how you can actually do it. Now, I don't know if this is going to show without glare. I hope so. But we want to pull up some, and we want to pull down also. So we want to like say here. Let me work from the part. I'm gonna pull up and out from the part, but then as it comes down here, I'm gonna change and I'm gonna pull down. So it's kind of an up and down pull. Oh, let's see. If I'm working over here, I'm gonna pull down, and then I'm gonna pull up, down, and up, and I'm going to go back and forth on this so that it's not just, I know I didn't really show you hair last week, so I'm just trying to show you now what we've missed. So you can go up out of the crown, up out of the crown. Let me think if there was another example that there was no, let's see, no crown. Oh yeah. Yep. No, I think I've left that upstairs. So we'll just keep going. All right. Make sure that you see the crown of your head. And this one, maybe she probably could have pulled her hair, because you're not seeing a whole lot of the crown of her head. I don't know if her forehead was quite that high. She could have maybe pulled her hair down from here. Just make sure you're looking, so it looks like you. All right. Remember how to do hair here. This is an example of pulling up and pulling down. And so that's how you get this highlight left. All right? Okay. Now I am going to, this is not me, but this happened to be an example that I made one year. And I'm going to try to add more dimension to it. It's pretty well, the eyes, if you can see, the eyes are in place, nose is in place, mouth is in place. But it's fairly unfinished, okay? So we're going to turn off one light and turn on another light and try to add some dimension. Get the light going a special way, all right? Okay, so I'm going to pretend that this is me. So can you see how the light now is coming? It's coming from above and down on my face. So I've got some nice cast shadows coming. So I can, when I started this drawing, I had the shadow on that side, obviously because of the eye here. So I better take a darker pencil, probably my 6B to make this show. And so you're going to need to use your darker pencils if you haven't gone dark already. And I see around the nose to make the nose sculpted. There is a shadow there. I've got some shading. All right, so the nose again, remember it pinches in. Oops. The nose pinches in. So I'm going to have to do some shading there. I'm just going to maybe I should, this is again a different kind of paper than what you're using. Excuse me for that. Okay. Alrighty. I'm seeing some shading here. Somebody's determined to get in touch with me. Sorry. Okay, don't smile because that changes everything. All right. Okay, so I'm seeing some shading here. Quite a bit of shading in here. Okay. I'm gonna have to build this up slowly. Alrighty. Okay, so this shaped nose is a little bit different from mine. So I'm going to try to draw what I see here. So it looks a little bit more like mine. Okay. Okay, and there's a shadow coming around here. And this is very much in shadow. Okay, darken there. Okay. All right, around my mouth, this comes down. And I'm seeing some, sorry guys, I need to silence this. There we go. This shape, thought that before. Anyway, so I'm going to try to do this. I'm smudging with my finger today because I'm feeling like I need to do this whole area and I want to do it kind of quickly. I think the Q-tip would take too long. So you see, I've got, and maybe because I'm older, I have more defined cheek. Well, you do have structure under your face, but when you're younger, your face is a little bit fuller. So, but I'm seeing these shadow shapes, so I've got to put them in if I want this to transform this lovely person into me. All right, stop smiling. I can't. All right. Okay. Let's see. So this whole side of my face, pretty much, is in shadow. Okay, I'm going to drop down under the lips here and see if I can. Uh-oh, there must be a hole under there, yeah, in my board. see, there's a glare on the paper for me. So I'm going to try to do my best here, guys. Bear with me. Okay. Okay, I think I am losing the mouth here, so I'm going to, okay, your mouth comes forward, right? So I'm going to darken the lips on those ends. So you can look at your drawing and see if you need to do that. And I'm going to just gently smudge it. I'm not going to overdo it. Hopefully. Okay. I think it's coming forward. Okay, what else do I notice about me? My chin. I can see some shadows here from my chin. The paper is blaring too, so I'm going to just go ahead and just keep working here. Hopefully this is turning out on the video. Yeah? Okay, so let's see. So my chin is hopefully going to pop forward, but I'm going to need some more shading. I have to see what shape that is. It's maybe kind of like this to define my shape of under my lip. Okay. And my shadow from my nose is really casting a shadow this way. Okay. All right. Trying to be a little more dramatic. It's still not coming out quite as dark as I'd like. Charcoal would work even better. But I know you don't have any, so let's see here. All right, there's this nose that I need to sort of transform into mine. Okay, remember how I said I'm not going to do a lined outline in my nose, but on this side, because of the shading, I mean, it's sort of done a line for me, a shadow line. And then again, this is darker here. I have to keep going back and forth. I work on the whole drawing at once. Do you? You could. All right. Now you see how we've pretty much, can you see the difference between this side and this side now? We've come quite a ways. So why don't I keep working on this side and just kind of develop in this one. I'm going to give it my hair. Give her. So first of all, I am going to smudge in a shadow right here. But I'm just going to, let's just stick to this one half because it's such a huge drawing. I'm going to smudge that in first. And I think I'm going to smudge in a shadow up here. You notice I have my pencil on the underhand because I'm working so big, so I can cover more area more quickly. Okay, so now I've got, this is where it's going to be, it's darker here, and darker here, and then there's light going through there because my bangs come forward and then they curl under. So I'm going to pull down from the crown onto the shadow area. Now maybe I should still do it, but I'm going to pull down. And I'm going to pull up. Let's see, maybe this come down pretty far. So I'm running out of lead. I might need to sharpen my pencil. All right. Do you see what I'm doing here with the hair? And, oh look, and over here, this is really dark. Now this gal had her ear showing. I do not. So I'm going to pull this down. Let's see, it comes in around it comes in towards my eye, doesn't it? So I'm going to pull it in. I guess I need to pull my bangs down farther too. Pull it in. And then, all right. Oh, here too, it looks like. It's this shape. So I'm going to pull up, pull down. Oops. One in here is going up. So I'm going to pull up some hair this way. I may have to kind of, looks like this hair is pretty long. So I'm going to pull up. But I'm also going to, this is darker over here. Pull down, pull up. I have board over here. Oh, I have a drawing board under here, and it's, well, we're working the best way we can today. Okay, let me just get the shape of the outline of the hair. That's my outer edge. Okay, so now I can curve in. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go in and out, up. Again. All right, so let's see. And it's darker in here, so we're going to pull down. And we're going to connect it with these. I'm sorry, back and forth. We're just going to give it that kind of a shape to it, all right? Right, okay, and then here, I'm seeing in here, it's going to get darker again, so I might leave some of the white of the page and just go up and maybe pull some down, go up, up, back and forth, up. Some of it's coming up, some of it's coming down. I do have to pull this down because my hair is over that ear. So let's hide that ear, but pull down, pull down, pull down. Some of this might go up. Pull down by the face. Okay, we're transforming this drawing. And so hopefully you can do this on yours. If you think it didn't look like you this week, well, you can be working on it by adding, get some directed light. Let's see. Let me ask my videographer, is this showing up like darker, like for transforming it? Okay, he says yes. Okay, let's not forget that there's a neck here, so we're going to have to, well, let's see, there's shadow on this side, and there's shadow on this side. For me. Oh, see, that's showing. That's showing what's underneath. Yeah, I can't have that. My drawing board is showing underneath. Okay. So basically, let's see. How are we doing for time? We okay? Okay, I think we're gonna, this will be our class time for today then. Just make sure you're casting a shadow on the neck. Make sure you're paying attention to how the hair grows. If we could, let's turn on the light a minute. And I can show you again, just different styles of doing the hair, okay? If you have short hair, you're going to be filling out that worksheet before you get in. Here's a male, his hair, female hair with its long and wavy, and here's some that's straight there until, oh dear, this got really kinky. But that's a really interesting technique that she did. Okay, I just want to show you one more thing. In your nature journal, I'm going to ask you to add color. And I can't send you this handout because I don't know if you have a color printer. So just take a look at this and see how this artist, she added color, but I mean red, yellow, and blue. She kept her palette just those three colors. Here, just touches of red, yellows, and blue. Okay, I think that's it for this week. I hope you're staying safe, and we'll keep washing those hands. Stay inside. Love you.